Minnesota Golden Gophers are in town, taking on the streaking and 16th-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes. Alongside Sean Morris, I'm Eric Collins. Moments away from tipping it off. Before we do, the Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineups coming your way. Drawn the visitors from Minneapolis.
Both teams like to push the pace, Eric. Point guard play is going to be paramount. DeAndre Matthew, very solid at the point for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Had 3 of the 12 steals for Minnesota in the last win over Ohio State. And for the homestanding Iowa Hawkeyes, their point guard, Mike Gesell, leading the conference in assist-turnover ratio. That will be tested today by Minnesota, who really likes to extend themselves defensively.
Now there's nary a seat to be had here at Carver Hawkeye. Iowa perfect 10-0 at home. Dating back to last year, they've won 19 straight at this facility. Tap is won by the locals. Here comes Mike Gesell and the Hawkeyes.
Minnesota coming out showing a little bit of a 2-3 zone look to Iowa.
Interesting note, both teams coming off of wins over Ohio State. Hawkeyes did it last weekend in Columbus. Gophers did it up at the barn on Thursday night. Ball loose on the floor, and we've immediately got a tie-up because the Hawkeyes won the opening tip. The possession goes now to Minnesota. There's Fran McCaffrey, now in his 4th season, trying to get the Hawkeyes to the NCAA tournament for the first time on his watch. He's matching up with Richard Pitino, who has really kind of taken this conference by storm. He is ready for this opportunity. His Gophers playing terrific basketball. Already a substitution. We've got Joey King in the game, replacing Otto Oceanics for Minnesota. Maybe the quickest sub we're going to see all season long. And the ball bounced off the foot of Matthew. It's Iowa basketball. Oceanics is going to come back in for Joey King. So maybe just a wardrobe malfunction or something.
Well, it is close to the Super Bowl. Nice job by Minnesota of extending the defense. A better job by Gesell of getting over the top. And again, the Golden Gophers falling back into that 2-3 zone. First time down the floor, it led to a turnover.
Devin Marble, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Week. His first shot, the floater off the mark.
Nice job, though, by Marble. You have to get in the gut of that defense, just not able to knock down the floater.
Wraparound pass. Austin Hollins hits Eliason, who comes up short.
And if you're Eliason, you just have to convert that. It was a great job off the dribble by Austin Hollins to create a passing angle.
And Basabi is bumped. Elliot Eliason, who has battled foul trouble in his first 3 seasons as a Gopher, picks up the personal foul.
And Eliason coming off a wonderful performance versus Ohio State, a double-double last time out for Minnesota.
Woodbury sets the screen for his buddy Gesell. Still looking for the game's first points. This is Aaron White. Over to Gesell, who's wide open. Offensive rebound for the Hawkeyes. Now Basabi inside.
Good activity on the offensive glass by Iowa, but a breakdown. Eliason needs to go after that initial offering with 2 hands. He went after it with 1, was not able to corral. As a result, Iowa with a second opportunity.
Andre Hollins is fouled. Marble got him on the jumper. It'll be 2 free throws for Hollins.
Last time down the floor for Iowa, you saw Eliason go after the ball with 1 hand, not able to corral it. Good job by Devin Marble of coming under control, and he put the bounce pass right where Basabi could do something with it. He didn't have to go behind him. It led him right to the rim.
Andre Hollins, the junior from Memphis, makes the first. Andre Hollins, one of 5 players in today's game that have over 1,000 career points. Andre and Austin Hollins for the Gophers. Basabi, Aaron White, and Devin Marble for the Hawkeyes.
And you mentioned Andre Hollins. His running mate in the backcourt, Austin Hollins, has struggled from the floor recently. last 3 ball games, only 17 points, 5 of 17 from the floor. I think this is an opportunity for Austin Hollins to have a big breakout game here for Minnesota.
Hawkeyes break the pressure easily. Now they'll set up offense. 22 seconds on the shot clock when they get the offense in gear. Long jumper, Marble. Oceanics the rebound. So speedy up the floor is Matthew.
Good job by White there, closing out under control. Good hedge by Basabe.
Pass knocked away. Gazelle got a hand on it. Basabe picks it up. Aaron White blocked away by Matthew. How did he do that? Matthew is 5'9".
Generously 5'9", and he rises up and eliminates an opportunity at the rim. If you're Aaron White, you think you're going to have an easy basket. He doesn't put his shoulder to the rim, and Matthew makes him pay.
Basabe, the 17-footer. That was the first block shot of the year for DeAndre Matthew. And he does it against a guy who's listed as 6'9". Floater in the lane, too hard by Matthew, rebounded Woodbury.
Nice outlet by Woodbury, looking up the floor.
Now White over to Gazelle. Another open look, and Gazelle's going to hit that more often than not.
And a good job by Gazelle there, Eric, of not over-penetrating. He pulled up a dribble short. So many times you'll see a guy take that extra dribble. That allows the shot-blocking presence of Eliason to become a factor. He pulls up and hits the elbow jump shot, takes that away.
Fran McCaffrey is a great coach of guards. He loves Mike Gazelle. Andre Hollins. There's the first field goal for the Gophers. They've now got 4 in the steal. Austin Hollins. Numbers. 3 on 2. Andre Hollins hits it.
Oh, boy, and that's just a breakdown twice by Basabe. It started with a mistake and the outlet pass. Then he didn't close out under control on Andre Hollins. A mistake syndrome right there by Milson Basabe.
Gazelle inside. Scores. Good, strong finish for the sophomore. Been a fun pace early on.
Both teams like to push it. Iowa averaging 86 points per ball game, tops in the league.
Ooh, splitting the double team. Austin Hollins, a gorgeous move.
There's an adage in sports, low man always wins. That was a great example by Austin Hollins of getting down low with the dribble and splitting the double team.
No look pass. Woodbury misses inside. So both bigs, Woodbury and Eliason, missing inside. Shots they normally hammer home. And we've got a timeout on the floor. We've got a whistle and a foul against Iowa.
Well, Andre and Austin Hollins getting it going. Nice cross pass.
John Morris on Merrick Collins. We expect a fun, fast-paced game today. We've got really good guards on both sides.
Mike Gazelle for the Iowa Hawkeyes doing a nice job of getting his team in offense and also contributing 4 points for Mike Gazelle, who's on the bench now, and his counterpart DeAndre Matthew making his presence known on the defensive end with a block shot as well as an assist here early.
Here's Matthew, the pull-up, too strong. Mo Walker into the game. Out of bounds, Iowa ball. That block shot, by the way, for DeAndre Matthew, the first of his college career. He's played 48 college basketball games. Played his freshman year at Morehead State and now here at the Gophers. That block of Aaron White, his first as a college player. Whistle and a foul on Andre Hollins. We have subs in the game. First time we see Jared Utoff for Iowa. Also into the game, Josh Oglesby and Gabriel Olaseni for the Gophers. Joey King is back in, played about 15 seconds early in this one. Mo Walker in as well.
Malik Smith in there as well, and Malik Smith. So if you're Iowa, you need to locate him from behind the arc.
Oglesby missing time earlier in the year with a foot injury.
Eric, this is where they have to attack, right there. And if you're going to flash in there, if you're Iowa, have your hands up right there, what McCabe did.
Pass poked away by King. Yeah, the only starter remaining on the floor for Iowa is Jeff Marble.
If you're going to flash in here, you have to have your hands up. And that's exactly what he does. Give the passer a target and get in the gut of that defense. Nice job by McCabe of making himself available.
Long shot. Oglesby feeling it early.
Well, they missed him with that foot injury, but he has come back. And since his return from that injury, north of 50% from three-point range for Josh Oglesby.
Junior from nearby Cedar Rapids. Austin Hollins with the miss, and Oglesby the rebound. Head-up pass is picked away. Numbers 3-on-1 for the Gophers. Malik Smith misses on a wild shot inside.
Yep. And you know what? Malik Smith made that a more difficult shot than it needed to be. They had a 3-on-1. He's on the left side, and rather than to try to complete with the left hand, he tried to slide to the right side of the rim, eliminating an opportunity for Minnesota to score in the open floor.
Iowa up by 2.
Good job right there by Malik Smith, the closing out on Oglesby.
McCabe takes his time and misses inside. He's had a real difficult time shooting lately, but Olashany bails him out with the stick back.
Olashany, outstanding shot blocker, also gives Iowa 5 rebounds per ball game.
King, the transfer from Drake, travel along the baseline.
Nice execution by Iowa. McCabe not able to convert the initial offering, but Olashany doing a good job of taking Minnesota in the form of Maurice Walker underneath the rim, then coming back out for that offensive rebound. Good job by Olashany on both ends of being active. His presence led to the turnover from King.
Gophers bring in Daquan McNeil and Maverick Ahanmisi. So there's 5 subs on the floor right now for the Gophers. Backdoor lob too strong. Olashany a good catch, and he's fouled. Ball was not intended to go off the backboard, but Olashany was ready for it.
Olashany has given Iowa a nice lift, a stick back, a good show, strong defensive presence leading to the turnover from Joey King. There, as you mentioned, Eric, the presence of mind to understand the ball was going to hit the backboard and understanding angles.
Now Malik Smith, today's Motel 6 sixth man. He's been terrific off Richard Pitino's bench. Instant offense for the most part. That 88% free throw shooting, tops in the conference.
And you also will get it done from deep, Eric. 40% from behind the arc on the year. So if you are Iowa, you must locate him not only in the half-court set, but also in transition when he's in the ballgame.
Hadn't played 8 minutes, and right now, the only starter on the floor for either side is Mike Gazelle. Here's the freshman McNeil. Over to Smith. King wants it. Can't get open. McNeil. He tried to pass that to Walker. Got knocked away. Got it back and put it in. Oglesby is bumped 25 feet away from the basket. Timeout on the floor. Basketball on BTN is brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. Now tonight, examine college basketball's national picture and see how the events of the week impact the Big Ten. Big Ten basketball and beyond, presented by Motorists Insurance Group. That's tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time right here on BTN. Dave Rebson, Mike DeCourcy, Jim Jackson. Star-studded crew on that one.
A treasure trove of knowledge and information.
Gazelle, McCabe, Utah, Oglesby, and Olashaney, the 5 on the floor for the Hawkeyes. Olashaney's jumper spins out. Ahan-Misi the rebound. Still a unique situation. Just one starter on the floor for either side. It's Mike Gazelle. Mo Walker, the hook along the baseline. And a foul on McNeil reaching in, trying to get the ball back. That's 6 team fouls now on Minnesota. So the next foul will put the Hawkeyes in the bonus. Austin Hollins back in, replacing McNeil. Ahan-Misi to the bench. And Andre Hollins returns.
On the dead ball, Minnesota extending the defense, in Iowa right up the right sideline and into their half-court set.
Gazelle had a great move, then simply lost the dribble. Again, Walker with the try. This time the left hand is good.
I tell you what, we've talked about the development of Elliott Eliason, but how about the lift that Maurice Walker has given Minnesota the last 2 ball games, calling for the basketball in that secondary break and then converting with the offhand.
McCabe stoned by Walker. Olashaney picks it up and drops it in.
And much like we just mentioned with Maurice Walker, the job that Olashaney has given in terms of a lift off the bench along the front line for Iowa, equally as impressive.
Fran McCaffrey has really worked with Olashaney, who came here as a kind of a raw piece of material, and he's turned into a really good player. Oh! Olashaney tipped it in. Don't think he meant to, but he got credit for it.
And that second chance opportunities, that stick back by Olashaney, 8 second chance points for Iowa of their 18 thus far.
Lead is 5 for the Hawkeyes. Good extra pass. Walker finds King.
How about the touch pass by Maurice Walker? That's called thinking ahead. He located Joey King while the pass was on its way to him.
Oglesby finds McCabe. Continues to struggle with that shot. He was 0 for 8 in the game against Ohio State last weekend in Columbus. Olashaney the block, but a foul with the body. Andre Hollins will go to the free throw line.
Minnesota going inside. Nice job right here by Maurice Walker of thinking ahead. While he was setting up shop, he located Joey King with his peripheral vision. And then on the return, Olashaney, clean up high, got him with the body down low.
Greatest free throw shooter in Minnesota Golden Gopher history, Andre Hollins. Hits the first, he'll have another. Wholesale changes for both sides. Walker and King go to the bench for the Gophers. Eliason and Oceanics back in, along with DeAndre Matthew. For Iowa, Aaron White back into the game, along with Devin Marble.
I think it's going to be really important for Minnesota to continue to get some kind of production as they saw from Maurice Walker, because Iowa can run different bigs at you. Olashaney right there, as well as Woodbury and Basabe. They're going to try to run the bigs from Minnesota.
In transition, Hollins hits it off the assist from Matthew.
He was due. I had a feeling it was going to be a nice offensive opportunity for Austin Hollins, and thus far, nice dribble drive and a triple in transition.
Gazelle uses his body beautifully. Olashaney blocked away.
And a good job by Eliason of walling up. And what I mean by that, he came down, had his hands straight up. So the offensive player, if he was going to try to go to the rim, was going to initiate the contact. And as a defender, Eric, if you maintain verticality, in theory, you were entitled to that space all the way to the ceiling as long as you maintain it, which Eliason did. Right here, as long as your hands stay straight up, as Eliason does, if the offensive player jumps into you, you're not going to get called for the foul. Nice job by Eliason of honoring verticality there.
Gophers up by 1. First of 2 meetings on the year between these two schools. Matthew. And going for the rebound, we've got a foul. Is that on Eliason?
I think they got Eliason for a second, and that's going to get Maurice Walker right back in the ballgame. Shot goes up, and you're going to see right there over the top with that left or inside hand by Eliason.
So with 2 fouls, Eliason sits down. Mo Walker into the game. And because Iowa's in the bonus, this is a 1-and-1 for Gazelle. Gazelle, the sophomore from South Sioux City, Nebraska. Shoots a surprising 65% at the free throw line. As good a shooter as he is, you'd think he'd be close to 80%. Matthew so confident with the basketball.
Nice use of the head fake.
Oceanix hangs, can't hit the contested layup. Aaron White flustered it. Utah to spin, walled off by 3 Gophers.
Excellent job by Oceanix of providing help there.
Wild shot. That'll probably be the worst miss of the year for a really good shooter in Utah. Aaron White picks up the foul in transition. That's number 2 on the junior. Back to Iowa City in a moment.
Off the missed opportunity. Watch how all the players fill their lane. You're going to see Eliason dive to the rim, and a good job by Andre Hollins of clearing out, which allows the pass to the secondary shooter, Austin Hollins, who gets his feet set. They were able to get up the floor before Iowa was able to get situated defensively.
That last foul before the timeout was on Aaron White. White now has 2 personal fouls. Both he and Elliot Eliason for the Gophers with 2 fouls. Both are sitting out right now. Iowa has inserted Peter Jock into the game, the freshman from West Des Moines. Oceanix can't handle the pass. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Melson Basavi.
And Iowa getting it done on the offensive glass. The Hawkeyes with 20 points, half of those second chance opportunities. On the flip side, Minnesota enjoys an 8-3 advantage in points off turnovers.
Quick trigger. Austin Hollins with the miss. Hawkeyes up by a point. They've made 40% of their first 20 shots.
Nice curl cut by Jock. Good job by Matthew of closing out under control.
Backdoor cut. Marble has his pass knocked away. Numbers for the Gophers. Oceanix, the trailer.
Really good job by Oceanix of slowing up, and a better job by Matthew of locating him, and then the nice little dribble handoff which led Oceanix right into the shot.
Gazelle hits the deck hard. Mo Walker put him there. 2 free throws for the sophomore.
There's another way if you're Minnesota to transition. Watch the peripheral vision by Matthew. He locates Oceanix, and Oceanix slowed up just enough to allow that little dribble feed, and Matthew didn't put it too low, and it led him right into his shot. Good job by those 2 players in transition for Minnesota.
2 free throws for Gazelle. Tomorrow, the Buckeyes taking to the road. They're going to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Coverage starts 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's tomorrow on BTN and BTN to go. Buckeyes up against it. They have lost 3 consecutive games. Lost in overtime against Michigan State, then against these Hawkeyes, and most recently against these Gophers.
And Nebraska gave Michigan everything they wanted in Lincoln. So if you're Ohio State, you have to be cognizant of the fact that the Cornhuskers are very tough at home, and Andre Hollins is very tough out of that corner as he hits double digits now for Minnesota.
He's made a couple of threes, 10 points for Andre Hollins. Oglesby left alone. That's what he does.
That's his second, and a good job by Gazelle there, Eric, of not panicking. He killed his dribble, made a mistake, but he didn't compound it by making an ill-advised pass. He came under control in basketball position and found Oglesby.
Great body language for Josh Oglesby. He is just bouncing around on the court right now. Now King, the transfer from Drake, took an extra step.
Nice job by Basabe of walling up defensively, leading to a turnover. And Iowa has been very efficient. We'll start with Minnesota. Good job of the crossover by Matthew, sucking in the Iowa defense, allowing Andre Hollins to get his feet set. And then the most recent offensive possession for Iowa, Gazelle, excellent point guard play, facing the basket, didn't turn his back to the defender. That allowed him to locate Oglesby on the left wing.
Hawkeyes continue to play without Aaron White. He's only attempted one shot, hasn't scored. White saddled with a pair of fouls. Jock. Good patience by the freshman. Lost the handle, still able to regroup.
Yeah, he's known as a three-point shooter, but showing his ability to also get in the lane, because Minnesota really didn't close out under control on him. He was able to get by with the bounce.
Wow, good. Strong Big Ten move for Andre Hollins. He's now got 12.
Well, how about that rip-through move and the attack on the rim?
Five minutes to play, first half. Shot clock down to 7. Oglesby, long two. Oh, man. I'm telling you, this could be his day. He looks great so far.
How about the shot fake and then a little bit of a mini step back? Oglesby 3 of 3 from deep. Triples are wild for Oglesby.
One of the greatest all-time high school shooters here in Iowa. Wild shot influenced by Basabe. Jock on the run out. Doesn't have numbers. And we've got an over-the-back foul called on Basabe. His first personal.
Well, Oglesby's first 2 threes were of the catch-and-release variety. Here, that shot fake, excellent use of the shot fake, gets the defender, Austin Hollins, off balance, creating just enough space for Oglesby to go to a stronger right side and step into that 3.
It's so fun when you can see a great shooter shooting with confidence. And that's what Oglesby's doing so far. Now we've made it a couple of weeks through conference play. We have 2 remaining unbeatens, and they both reside in the Great Lakes State. You got the Spartans and the Wolverines above everyone else.
And both of those teams have battled injury problems. Michigan State recently with Adrian Payne, who has missed 3 consecutive games for the Spartans, and Michigan, well documented, they've been playing without Mitch McGarry and will so for the foreseeable future. But what they've gotten, those 2 teams, what they have in common is that the backup frontline players have done things in great consortium for each of their respective teams. Costello has been wonderful, as well as Kaminsky for Michigan State, and the job that Horford and Morgan have done for Michigan, admirable. They had a double-double yesterday, cumulatively also perfect from the floor.
Iowa's going to play in Ann Arbor on Wednesday against Michigan. Malik Smith, great feed, and Joey King can't hit the bunny. Anthony Clemens in for the first time. Fran McCaffrey's gone 11 deep in this first half. Utah is fouled. Jared Utah, the sophomore from Cedar Rapids, will be at the free throw line when we come back to Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Headed out of town for those big
1 points.
2 of the 5 players in Iowa jerseys who had double-digit performances offensively on the road last weekend in Columbus in that winning effort for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Well, what's amazing today about the performance of Marble and White, combined, they haven't scored. Yet Iowa's got a 2-point lead.
And a big reason for that has been the play off the bench along the front line. Gabe Olashany with 7 points, and Josh Oglesby with 8. A perfect 3 of 3 from the floor, perfect 2 of 2 from long distance.
Utah hits a pair. And the lead is now 3. 19 bench points for the Hawkeyes. Oceanix.
Nice. Really good job by Oceanix of making himself available, getting right in the gut of that defense, and then not dribbling into trouble and knocking down what essentially, Eric, was a free throw.
Talking about the bench points for Iowa in this one. Fits in beautifully. Last time that Minnesota won, Last year in Minneapolis against Iowa, the Gophers won the game without their bench scoring a single point. All 63 points scored by Minnesota were by starters. And we've got a foul sending Basabe to the free throw line. We've reached the double bonus, so 2 free throws for the senior from Long Island.
Joey King and Basabe got tied up, and they got Joey King with the foul from Minnesota. And as you mentioned, Eric, Basabe will go to the line as a result.
Matthew coming back in, replacing Oceanix. So a smaller lineup right now for the Gophers.
If you're Iowa, you need to recognize that defensively, Eric. And what I mean by that is now you're really going to become reliant, if you're Minnesota, with this team out on the floor, to utilize dribble penetration, try to suck in the white jerseys, and then kick it out to a guy like Andre Hollins or Malik Smith, who's out here on the top of the key.
Andre Hollins had it poked away, but serendipitously, Malik Smith hits the 3.
This is a simple game, Eric. It's a simple game.
Yeah, the ball rolls right to you, you hit it.
But you saw it started with dribble penetration. That's exactly what Minnesota wanted to do. They did get a fortuitous bounce, but that was exactly what Minnesota wanted to do. Get in the gut of the defense and then kick it out.
Tied at 32. Under 3 minutes to play, first half. Marble. He's still scoreless. Marble will go to the line.
Last time down the floor for Minnesota, dribble penetration. Watch this. All the heads are looking right here. That allows Malik Smith on the scramble situation. No one locates him. Bottom of the well.
Marble trying to get in the scoring column.
We talked about a few possessions ago, verticality. Elliot Eliason honored it when the contact was made. Joey King did not. His 2 hands came down on the shooter, in that case Marble, making it an easy call for the official.
One of the all-time greats, Devin's father Roy, as per usual here in the stands. And a bodying foul on Utah. First foul on the sophomore.
Little shot fake. That's an inside arm right there. Needless to say, that's not a popular call here.
Austin Hollins got the senior call. 1-1. We'll have another. Sean, it appears as if Aaron White, one of the best players not only in the conference but in the country, is only going to play 6 minutes in the first half. 2 fouls has kept him there.
2 fouls, and just hasn't been able to get into any kind of offensive flow.
Pass. Marble wasn't looking for it, and the Gophers cash in. That's just a gift. 2 points for the Gophers. And now a foul called on Matthew, pushing Clemens.
Well, that's the second time that we've seen Minnesota take advantage of a careless inbounds pass. Earlier, it was Melson Basabe, and Marble just wasn't looking for the ball, and that's just a rare breakdown in communication against pressure by Iowa.
So we'll come the other way and shoot free throws. We're now in the double bonus for Iowa, so 2 free throws for Anthony Clemens. In 2 minutes and 15 seconds, we will send you to the State Farm halftime report. A lot to talk about. Just incredible games across the conference yesterday.
We have another good one here today. This is fun. These teams are getting up and down the floor, getting after each other defensively, pushing the pace.
Clemens misses both. Gophers up 3. Andre Hollins. Before the shot is fouled.
Really like what Andre Hollins did here as he's going in transition, Eric. He's looking off the defender, and then watch a little hesitation. He's looking off the defender. Boom. Little hesitation. That got Clemens up out of his stance just enough to allow Andre Hollins to turn the corner.
1-1 for Hollins. One of the things that Richard Pitino has done since coming to the Gophers, he's really worked and improved a lot of the players that Tubby Smith had. Maurice Walker, Elliot Eliason. But in my opinion, Tubby Smith did a great job with the guy at the free throw line right now. Andre Hollins, the minute he got to Minneapolis, was given a ton of responsibility. Tubby Smith filled him up with confidence. And right now, Richard Pitino is benefiting from this player who is kind of a player in full right now. McCabe hounded by Austin Hollins. Gets it to Gazelle. Daquan McNeil defends him.
Good job by Malik Smith of taking away the little curl there by Oglesby.
Shot clock down to 6. Gazelle bottled up, blocked away by Austin Hollins. Good team defense for the Gophers. Andre Hollins and one. Pretty play for the junior. Chance for the three-point play.
Was he feeling it? And it started on the defensive end by his running mate in the backcourt, Austin Hollins. Notice how he blocked the shot with the left hand. No way he's able to block it if he goes with a stronger right hand. And then Andre Hollins, that's a result of the fact he's knocked down a couple of triples. So they understand he's going to knock down that perimeter jump shot. They don't close out under control. Nice job by Hollins of recognizing that and getting to the rim.
An 18-point first half for Andre Hollins. Remember, he went over 40 last year against Memphis in non-conference play. He can score in bunches.
Oh, nice duck in by Marble. Excellent duck in.
No shot. We've got a foul on Iowa. They call it on Basabi coming in to get that rebound.
Boy, a really nice duck in right there by Marble. Oh, yep, and he got them with just enough of the push in the back by Joey King. Watch right there. Kind of subtle. It was down low, but it was in the lower back, and the up official here caught it. Right there, because you will see Joey King just kind of get moved off his path just enough.
So 2 free throws now for King. And the sophomore now with 3 points. Adam Woodbury replaces Basabi, who goes to the bench with 2 fouls. He and Aaron White, both with 2 first-half personals. How about that for a change? It was almost 2 points for Iowa on the stick back by Basabi. Instead, it's 2 points on the free throws for King. And Gazelle, chance for the three-point play.
Oh, I like that grittiness by Gazelle. Kind of feels it slipping away here a little bit. And he just senses, no, you have to stop the ball. He's the most dangerous guy on the floor. Minnesota does not do it. He uses a little bit of a hesitation to turn the corner on Smith. King clearly not set when Gazelle goes into his upward motion. As a result, chance for an and one.
Free throws continue to be an issue for the Hawkeyes.
And this is an Iowa team that's pretty good from the line overall, 72% on the year.
They go there frequently. They need to be good. They're 6th in the country in amount of free throws taken per game.
Really good job by McCabe there. A really nice job by McCabe. Excellent defense, honoring the fact that Hollins was trying to use the shot fake to get by him.
Now McCabe. Oglesby. 11 off the bench for Oglesby.
And how about the response by Iowa? Down 10, all the momentum with Minnesota. The dribble drive by Gazelle, then the stop by McCabe, the triple by Oglesby now, a 5-0 run. All the momentum with Iowa, and it continues so.
A 5-second call. Andre Hollins going nowhere in a hurry, and the ball goes back over to the Hawkeyes.
Nice job by McCabe. Moving his feet, leading to the turnover. They come the other way, and then Oglesby, you can't lose him. You cannot lose him, because if you do, especially with the confidence he's playing with today, he will make you pay. Over the top, skip, bottom of the well.
Shot clock's off. Hawkeyes going to hold.
going to try to get him again.
Oglesby! Again! Wow! What a first half! The Hawkeyes streaking to the locker room, surging with confidence. They finished the half on an 8-0 run.
It was 43-33, all the momentum with Minnesota. It started with a dribble drive by Gazelle to cut into that lead, and then back-to-back triples. You could see this coming. A little stagger screen, curl cut, and he doesn't need a whole lot of space.
Terrific first half of play here in Carver Hawkeye. We're starting our second half here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The double-headed monster of Devin Marble and Aaron White, they combine normally for 30 points per game. Through the first 20 minutes, just a single point, a Marble free throw. That's it in the first half.
But off the bench, they've been picked up by their teammates. We talked about Oglesby. Olashini, really a solid first half as well, with 7 points and 3 rebounds for Iowa.
Marble attacks right out of the shoot, scores, and he's fouled. Chance to give the Hawkeyes the lead. The foul is on Eliason, his third.
And that's a tough one to have as your third if you're Eliason. And that's going to get him to the bench right away. And here comes Maurice Walker, who gave, much like Olashini, he gave Minnesota a nice lift as well in the first half.
So Eliason, who only played 6 first half minutes, plays 13 seconds of the second half before he's sent to the bench. Hawkeyes up by a point. It's been nip and tuck back and forth all afternoon long. Oceanics into the corner. Austin Hollins. Rebounded big. Mo Walker takes his time, scores, and he's fouled.
Mo Walker, I tell you, the last 2 ball games, he has been extremely impressive. Watch what he does. He understands that a shot from the corner 85 to 90% of the time is going to carry him the opposite way. You saw him take the Iowa defender a little bit underneath the rim and then locate, catch, shot fake, and deliver. Nice job by Mo Walker.
Almost identical starts for both sides. When Iowa's got the ball, 3-point play for Marble, drawing the 3rd foul on Eliason. When the Gophers had the ball, 3-point play for Walker with the 3rd foul on Basabe. Basabe now sits on the pine, replaced by the senior Zach McCabe. Gazelle, Marble playing keep away along that perimeter. Gazelle step-in jumper.
Second time we've seen excellent court awareness by Gazelle. In the first half, he pulled up short, didn't dribble into traffic. Same thing there, this time going to his right.
Austin Hollins finds Matthew. He's a reluctant shooter sometimes. Shoots a good percentage, but doesn't shoot frequently from behind the arc. And we've got a bodying foul.
And then to your point, that's exactly what Richard Pitino is telling Matthew. He had the open shot. He's saying, look, you have to be a viable threat. When you have that shot available, you have to take it because he's a beyond capable 3-point shooter, 45% on the year.
But he's only taken 20. Made 9 of them. Oceanics simply lost the ball. Kind of an awkward play there for Oceanics. And it's Iowa basketball.
And I think what upset Coach Pitino the most, and he's going to take DeAndre Matthew out, even though the turnover is going to go to Oceanics, the blame goes to DeAndre Matthew because you have to understand the recipient of the pass. He put Oceanics in a situation where even if he's able to catch that ball cleanly, Eric, he's not going to be able to do anything positive with it.
McCabe helping out in the backcourt, brings it over to timeline. Long jumper, good, Marble!
And it started because he got to the basket to begin this half. He saw the ball go through the basket. He shot that ball extremely confidently, but it started with the dribble drive to begin this second 20 minutes.
2 minutes into the second half, and Marble already with 6 points. Malik Smith, Andre Hollins.
Really nice job by Gazella being there on the catch.
The spin, Oceanix can't hit. Marble! Roy Marble! Watching his son Devin do wonders here at Carver Hawkeye. 9 second-half points for the senior Devin Marble.
And it started, even though we're going to see the 2 threes, it started because he began this half getting to the basket.
The folks here at Carver Hawkeye are grinning from ear to ear. The Hawkeyes coming out of the locker room and playing as if their hair's on fire, particularly Devin Marble. He has accounted for 9 of the 11 points that the Hawkeyes have scored in the first 2:18 of the second half.
And I really like what the coaching staff led by Coach Fran McCaffrey did to begin this second half. They understood that their leading scorer had struggled getting shots, a design play getting him to the rim to begin the second half.
Great play by the 5'9" DeAndre Matthew. That stops a 19-3 run for the Hawkeyes dating back to the end of the first half.
I really like this response by DeAndre Matthew after getting benched after a poor passing decision. He didn't sulk. He came in and delivered.
Marble gets inside the paint. And he's fouled.
Boy, DeAndre Matthew did a pretty good job of sliding over. Came pretty close to getting a tie-up, but they got him across the wrist.
That's the 3rd foul now on Matthew. Marble misses everything. White gets it in. So the 2 guys who have done virtually nothing on offense in the first half, Marble and White, have been twin terrors here in the second half.
And with Marble, it started with the dribble drive, and maybe this will get Aaron White going because he's in the right place at the right time. You know, people are expecting that to hit the rim. And so everyone's timing was kind of thrown off. White was the only one who really had a clear vision of it.
You just told me that 85% of the shots from the baseline are long. How many shots from the baseline are air ball?
Well, you have to hit the iron. I mean, it's simple physics.
You haven't done the math on that one.
No.
Now the defense becoming close to suffocating. The Hawkeyes. King lets the defender blow by and then misses the shot, but it's put back up and in by Austin Hollins.
Good job by Austin Hollins of not becoming a spectator. He saw that that was going to be short by King. Got right in the middle of the lane to clean it up.
Aaron White. Now his offense in gear.
When you get an easy basket, as Marble did to start and 2 possessions ago that White did, seeing that ball go through the bottom of the basket can just raise your confidence. It may seem like a small thing, but it certainly is not.
Aaron White played 6 first half minutes. That's it. Matthew. He feels his team needs him to score. He's doing it right now.
I really like the way he responded to that temporary benching. A lot of guys will hang their head. He has not done that. He's come in and delivered.
Woodbury, lefty jumper. Walker able to catch a tough pass from Hollins, and he's fouled. I don't think a year ago, Mo Walker able to bend down and get that pass. He'll be at the free throw line.
And Iowa getting some production here. In the 11 players, reflected in the fact that 86 points per ball game leads the conference in that category. What's not there is their improved three-point shooting from a year ago. Last season, the Iowa Hawkeyes were 11th in the conference in three-point field goal percentage. This year, they are 4th.
That lasted about 5 seconds on the rim. Mo Walker gets it to fall.
That's just like a flat tire on the expressway, Eric. A lot of rim, man.
And that one's clanked. And it's a foul on Malik Smith going after the rebound. A little overzealous. That's foul number 3 on Malik Smith. He's an important cog.
And fouls becoming an issue for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Eliason has been saddled with 3 since the very beginning of the second half. DeAndre Matthew with 3 as well.
Only player with 3 for Iowa, Melson Basabi, who continues to sit on the bench. Gabriel Olashani into the game now. Oglesby, a terrific first half. Bounce pass. Olashani will go to the line.
Eric, you talked about the body language of Oglesby as reflected as when he was running back after the made shots. Here, it's a great example of the confidence with which he is playing, because he put the ball on the floor, saw that the defense rotated over, and then made a nice, solid bounce pass to Olashani where he could do something with it.
I'm not at practice every day with Fran McCaffrey, but you get the sense that the way he coaches and his style with his players just helps with the confidence. They get on the floor and they want to perform because they have their minds right.
And it also goes back, that's an excellent point. The other thing is this: when you're playing 11 guys, only 5 can play at a time. So playing time is going to be at a premium. So when you get the opportunity, you have to do a lot of the little things. And for Oglesby, yes, he's known as a three-point shooter, and rightfully so, but you also have to be able to set your teammates up in order to maintain playing time, and he did that as well to Olashani.
Austin Hollins misses the 3.
Nice job by Olashani of taking Walker out of that play.
Trailer on the break is McCabe. He's fouled! McCabe, a chance for the 3-point play.
Nice little ball fake by Olashani. Joey King didn't commit defensively. Watch 24 right there. If you're going to come over, either slide over, and or if you're going to give the foul, make sure you give the foul and not just a little blow by there by King.
And that was a long time coming for Zach McCabe. In his last 28 minutes of playing time, dating back to last weekend against Ohio State, he'd missed his last 11 shots from the field. So maybe now his confidence will surge just a bit. And we've got an official timeout as they're taking a look at the clock.
And Eric, as you mentioned, as you talked about Devin Marble and Aaron White, if you remember, what got them going was something at the rim. With Marble, it was the play out of the halftime on the dribble drive. With White, it was the offensive rebound and the stick back. And you have to like what McCabe did. You look, your outside shot isn't falling. Get to the rim. Hopefully you might get fouled. You might have a chance for an and one. But get to the basket and get something easy. As a result, your confidence will come along with you.
Well, good times are here again for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're 14-3 on the year. Their only 3 losses, all respectable. They lost in overtime against Villanova. They lost against Iowa State, at the time unbeaten. They lost against Wisconsin. No shame in any of those losses.
And they're playing a team here today coached by first-year coach Richard Pitino, who also off to a really, really nice start. Only 1 home loss this year, that coming to the Michigan Wolverines.
So you see the clock's been adjusted. 14:52. 4 seconds were added back on to the game clock, and McCabe makes the old-fashioned 3-point play for his first 3 points. Lead is 7. This is the largest lead of the afternoon for the Hawkeyes.
Nice show there by Marble, forcing Thomas to give it up.
Aaron White. Lead is 9.
Iowa, nice job by Aaron White of reading the ball reversal, hops that passing angle, comes with that inside hand, the deflection. At 6'9", able to cover a lot of ground and convert. Aaron White making his presence known on both ends of the floor here in the second half.
Super Wednesday returns, and the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Minnesota Golden Gophers are involved. First, you got the Hawkeyes in Ann Arbor against Michigan. Then you got Wisconsin taking on Minnesota. That game in the barn all starts at 6:30 Eastern with the tip-off show that's Wednesday, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. After the timeout, we're going to have a foul on Gabe Olashaney. That's now 5 team fouls on the Hawkeyes.
And if you're Minnesota, you want to continue to dribble drive. There's still so much time here, Eric. Dribble drive, maybe getting into the bonus here before the next media timeout coming at under 12.
Andre Hollins finds Austin.
Good job excellent job by White.
Walker spins into the double team.
Boy, that was a nice defensive sequence by Iowa. Started with White and then Olashaney not going for the footwork of Walker.
McCabe. Hawkeye ball. Elliot Eliason is going to come in. He's been sitting on the bench since the 1943 mark of this second half. Picked up his 3rd foul quickly.
You can't lose sight of him.
Oglesby. Matthew gets such elevation on his jumper.
And he came under control. Nice job by Matthew. I really like his performance here in the second half.
Marble misses the finger roll. Great work by Eliason to stand his ground. Gophers would love a bucket here. Matthew.
Nice outlet by McCabe.
Oglesby blocked inside by Andre Hollins, but Olashaney, the stick back.
Olashaney did not give up on the play, Eric. The big ran the floor. As a result, Iowa had a numbers advantage, and they were able to overcome a nice defensive effort by Andre Hollins initially.
4 Hawkeyes in double figures. Oceanics, strong inside move. Hawkeyes up 7. Make it 10. Marble.
By Minnesota right now, I want to make sure that number 1, Andre Hollins, touches the ball in this possession. That's a quick shot. That's a real quick shot.
Oceanics able to save.
Smart play.
Eliason gets it to go off the miss by Andre Hollins.
Smart play by DeAndre Matthew there initially, Eric, to clear, dribble the ball back out. He knew he had nothing initially. Clear out, force Iowa to defend. They get a little bit of a give and go, even though they weren't able to convert with Hollins. Eliason there to clean up the mess.
Elbow jumper. Marble can do no wrong here in the second half. 15 points, 14 after intermission. Oceanics fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Well, over the years, there have been 8 spectacular years of marbles filling up rims here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Father Roy, now son Devin. Terrific afternoon for Devin Marble in the Hawkeye. And Nebraska's got Jordan Hooper, one of the best players in the history of this conference. That starts right after our game. BTN and BTN to go. Iowa Hawkeyes, the women's team, they're led by Samantha Logic. Always a threat for a triple-double, a little bit of everything. Otto Oceanics will shoot 2 free throws. Junior from Lockfield, got 7 points.
Eric, Iowa has gotten Marble and White going here in the second half. Unfortunately for Minnesota, Andre Hollins, who had 18 points at the break, still has 18 points and only 1 field goal attempt here in over 8 minutes plus of clock time.
Oceanics misses a pair. For Minnesota, both Matthew and Eliason on the floor with 3 fouls. Nelson Basabi on for Iowa in foul trouble with 3. McCabe finds Utah. Largest lead of the afternoon.
Really nice job by Utah of moving without the basketball, and it was compounded by the fact Minnesota didn't have strong enough ball pressure on the passer, which allowed him to look over the top and find Utah.
Bounce pass, a beauty. Matthew threaded the needle, and he found Eliason. That was just great vision and awareness by Matthew to pick up that assist.
And to put enough mustard on the pass where the big fella didn't have to go down to his shoe tops to pick it up.
Austin Hollins fouls Utah.
Last time down the floor, Iowa offensively really doing a nice job of moving the basketball. Now watch where the hands are right there. That allows McCabe to look over the top. If you're Oceanix, Eric, you have to come out hands high and give McCabe something to throw over the top. He didn't. As a result, Utah moving without the ball found very easily.
Both teams now with 6 second-half team fouls, so it'll be the bonus the rest of the way for both sides. Gazelle. Still plenty of time for these Gophers, down by 10. And an offensive foul on Matthew. It's number 4.
Well, you can't fault Matthew for wanting to attack the rim, and McCabe takes the punch, and on the other end of the floor, it started with a good outlet pass. McCabe backpedaling. That's a tough one to have as your fourth if you're Matthew.
So he'll have to go to the bench for a while. Malik Smith and Daquan McNeil now both into the game in the backcourt for the Gophers. McCabe's always been a good ball handler. And a foul on Oceanix trying to wall off McCabe. We're in the bonus, so a 1-and-1.
And Gazelle today, Eric, 11 points, all right? But the other thing he's done against this pressure, showing you why he leads the conference in assist turnover ratio. This is a team in Minnesota that will get after you defensively, and Gazelle today, 4 assists, only 1 turnover.
Foul on Basabi, his 4th. Let's see what the level of trust is for Fran McCaffrey in regards to Basabi. Basabi's out. No, he's going to stay in. Devin Marble replaces Clemens. So at least for the time being, Basabi going to stay in with 4 fouls. And that time being didn't last very long. Olashaney replaces number 1.
It still lasted longer than the Kardashian wedding, so, you know, it's all relative.
I love your pop culture references.
Oh, I'm on top of things, Eric. There's no question. Eliason, Eric, I tell you, he hasn't had a chance to really get into much of a flow today. But if there were a vote for most improved player in the league, that young man from Nebraska gets my vote. 6 double-doubles, has completely remade his body, much like Maurice Walker has done, and coming off a wonderful performance at home in the big win over Ohio State. And his effort has been recognized by Coach Pitino, naming him a captain mid-year.
Olashaney saved a layup, blocked it away from King. Hawkeyes have the ball and the lead, up by 9. Now Gazelle reset. Gazelle, Olashaney, Marble, White, and Utah, 5 on the floor for the Hawkeyes. 13 seconds remain on the shot clock.
Now, last time out, in the back person in this stack, they just stepped in right behind for a 3-point shot. In this case, it was Marble. They took it away.
You can go into the backcourt and retrieve that pass. Marble, long 3.
Good job by Marble of locating Malik Smith in transition.
Block shot, Utah cleans it away from Daquan McNeil.
Watch the closing speed of Utah. That was impressive. The other part of that play that was so important, the shot with which he blocked the hand. He came with that inside hand and attacked the shooting hand with his left hand. Nice job by Utah.
Andre Hollins has only attempted one shot in the second half. Trying to rectify that. He goes inside and is fouled. Andre Hollins will go to the line.
And a smart play by Andre Hollins, Eric. On the dribble drive, he heard the whistle. He put the ball up toward the basket rather than passing it. He's going to be rewarded with 2 shots. Savvy play by Hollins.
Sean Morris, the fact that Andre Hollins had 18 points in the first half, but has only attempted one shot in the first and 11.5 minutes in the second half. Is that something that Iowa's doing against him, or is that just something that Andre Hollins is not doing?
Well, Iowa has done a really good job, one, of rotating fresh defenders on him, and in many situations, face guarding. They haven't allowed him to catch. You talk about only 1 field goal attempt. He hasn't had the ball in his hands that much. And a great deal of that credit has to go to Iowa and the fact that they have face guarded him and not allowed him to even catch the ball.
20 points now for Hollins. Hawkeyes trying to win their 20th straight at home.
You've got to get right in there if you're Iowa. Right there.
Long three-pointer. Gazelle didn't have enough legs. Olaseni is fouled, going for the rebound.
And in that 2-3 zone, if you're Minnesota, it makes it a little bit more difficult for rebounding responsibilities because you don't have a specific jersey that you're responsible for. Nevertheless, you have to find somebody when that shot goes up and not allow a guy like Olaseni, who's a very good offensive rebounder, to get a clear path to the rim.
11 points for Olaseni. Hawkeyes have 4 players in double figures. 2 of them are bench players. None of them are named Jared Utah. Olaseni and Oglesby doing good work off the bench.
Yeah, 12 points, 7 rebounds for Olaseni, 6 of the offensive variety.
Malik Smith off the curl. Going for the rebound. We've got a foul called on Iowa. So we'll have free throws for the Gophers when Wednesday's going to be a great day around the conference. Super Wednesday returns with a great doubleheader. You got Michigan and these Iowa Hawkeyes in Ann Arbor. And then you got Wisconsin and these Minnesota Golden Gophers. All starts at 6:30 Eastern with the tip-off show. That's Wednesday, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. There is a chance. There's a chance that all 4 teams in that doubleheader could be ranked come Wednesday.
Especially if the Minnesota Golden Gophers are able to mount a comeback here on the road versus Iowa.
Should mention we saw Nate Caden, one of the great NFL kickers of all time, just kicking it here in the stands.
I know what you want to say. Go ahead.
He's great from three-point range.
I knew it. Yeah. Hi-oh.
Iowa's got the ball in the lead, up by 8, under 8 minutes to play. With Sean Morris, I'm Eric Collins. First of 2 meetings on the year between the Gophers and the Hawkeyes.
Nice hustle.
Austin Hollins had it, then lost it. And it's Minnesota ball. They just wanted the ball. And King scores. You love to see hustle rewarded.
That's how you get back into a ball game, and it started with the senior Austin Hollins giving it up.
Eliason did too. He's playing with 3 fouls. Sophomore Gazelle calling out a play. 7 minutes left to play. Marble walled off. Shot clock at 5. A challenge 3-pointer. Tough offensive possession for the Hawkeyes. And a foul in the backcourt. No, it traveled. Oh, underrated defense by White to fluster Malik Smith.
And Good job. Watch Austin Hollins giving up. Utah tries to dig it out. Eliason comes in, and then that's a more difficult shot. It's even more difficult when the referee comes in between you there. But just hustle. This has been a really, really high-level competitive game on both sides.
So after the travel, called on Malik Smith. Fresh shot clock for Iowa.
Yeah, he left his feet with nowhere to go, and that inside foot hit the ground before he released the ball.
Josh Oglesby into the game for the Hawkeyes. Again, a lot of dribbling up high by Gazelle. And a little slapping foul is going to send Aaron White to the line.
That's a backbreaker if you're Minnesota, Eric, because you've done a really good job of keeping Iowa on the perimeter. The shot clock's under 10. You bail Iowa out, and even if that would have been a common foul and not a shooting foul, both teams are in the double bonus.
2 free throws for Aaron White. White shoots at an 85% clip, 4th best in conference.
Also came into this ball game leading the conference in field goal percentage at 65% on the year.
Hasn't taken as many three-pointers as he has in years past, even though he is an accomplished three-point shooter.
There's no question Aaron White is an all Big Ten caliber player without a doubt. Good job by Olashanian coming out hands high on Austin Hollins there.
We've reached the 6-minute mark. Eliason's touch pass to Oceanix. He just kind of redirected that pass. Very deft for the big man from Chadron, Nebraska.
Now Gazelle has to understand he's got Oceanix in an uncomfortable position defensively.
Best game of the year for Josh Oglesby. No doubt about it. 17 points off the bench. Eliason, the stick back. He's fun to watch. Oglesby. Oglesby has made 5 out of 7 three-pointers so far this afternoon. And White will go back to the free throw line. Eliason, foul number 4.
And you cannot allow a player of the caliber of Aaron White to catch the ball that deep, because you put your big guy, Eliason, in a no-win situation. And the no-win situation right now for the Minnesota Golden Gophers is your center has 4 fouls.
There are now 4 men in this game with 4 fouls. Eliason, Matthew, and Joey King for the Gophers. Nelson Basabi for the Hawkeyes.
And Iowa's very close right now, Eric, to having consecutive games with 5 players in double figures. Already has 4. White is closing in on that as well.
Matthew throws it away.
To put the ball in your 6'9" player, clear out the side of the floor, and let him go to work. He not only punches the time clock, he's doing time and a half.
And it's the 4th foul on Mo Walker.
I believe that makes 5 players now for Iowa that have achieved double figures. Second straight game, Iowa's been able to accomplish that feat.
Largest lead of the day for the Hawkeyes, up by 12. fouled from behind by Olasheni. He's got 4 fouls.
And the confidence of the teammates to get the ball to Walker, and then the confidence by Walker to catch the ball, not hesitate, and go right into a shooting motion.
Well, should the Gophers get a little closer, this is what they're going to have to work around. Richard Pitino has 4 different guys who are 1 foul away from being done for the day. Iowa's got a couple of guys with 4 fouls in Basabi and Olasheni.
And even though both of those players have had solid games today, Eric, it's not as big a cause of concern for Iowa because they go 11 deep. Minnesota doesn't have that luxury.
Closing in on the 4-minute mark. Iowa trying to get to 4-1 in conference. Shot clock down to 6. Marble contested 3. Oh, the rebound almost beat fresh shot clock.
Everything but the rebound. Minnesota did a pretty good job. 2 guys did a really good job of blocking out. Someone had a lapse as a result of fresh 35 for Iowa.
Fran McCaffrey calls a timeout. Didn't like the way that possession was unfolding. And we'll keep it here and talk about one of the reasons Iowa has this 12-point lead. Coming out of the half, Devin Marble taking it upon himself to get involved.
And that was the big thing that got Devin Marble started. And then he got confident and then some, especially from deep. Not much of a factor offensively in the first half. The complete inverse of that here in the second 20 minutes. And as a result, Iowa has been able to climb all the way back, now enjoying a 12-point lead. They were down 10 coming down the stretch of the first half.
Wow, this is incredible. Today's Auto Owners Insurance game leaders. Talk about the different halves for Hollins and Marble. At winning time, it was Devin Marble who stepped up in a big-time way. Marble guarded by Andre Hollins. Marble swoops in. Offensive foul. Oceanix stood his ground.
Iowa clearing out the floor for Marble. Looks like he's going to get all the way to the rim. Oceanix slides over, takes
Wednesday. Super Wednesday. You got Michigan hosting the Hawkeyes first, and then Minnesota hosting the Badgers. It starts before the first tip. 6:30 is when you can find it, the tip-off show. Wednesday, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. After the break, Gophers have the ball. Down a dozen. Hollins misses from deep. Melson Basabi back in the game, corrals the rebound.
Good strong rebound by Basabi as Iowa giving Minnesota a little bit of a different look, employing a 2-3 zone in that particular possession.
That was just the second shot of the second half for Andre Hollins.
And it was contested.
He had 18 points in the first half. And Aaron White's made a living at the free throw line as of late. White has always been kind of a foul magnet. These will be his 6th and 7th free throws of the afternoon. And when you make him at 85%, on the free throw line is a great asset.
And that's a great teaching point. You know, you said he's a foul magnet, and the big reason for that is that at 6'9", he's a more than viable jump shooter, so you have to guard him out there. He can put the ball on the floor, as we've seen, and he also understands how to use his body to get angles toward the rim and put himself between the basket and the defender as Iowa extends to their biggest lead of the afternoon.
Hollins simply lost it inside.
That's it for Eliason, I think.
Did Eliason get the foul on the reach-in?
Yep, and he's going to get teed up. Yep.
So that's actually the rare 6th foul on Elliot Eliason.
Yeah, that's just frustration by Elliot Eliason. You have to maintain your composure, but there was no question that that was the way that play was going to unfold, because he was really giving it to the official. The official turned his back. He didn't give it up. They really had no choice. That's just a frustration foul by Elliot Eliason. A loose ball situation. And he's giving it. I mean, he's giving it, and he's very demonstrative.
You know what, Sean? It's an afternoon worth of frustration.
Yeah.
There were a couple of fouls on Eliason.
And that doesn't excuse
borderline.
it. That doesn't excuse that. You just can't have that happen. But you're absolutely right. It's been an afternoon of frustration on the road for Elliot Eliason. But I don't care whether you're a junior or a freshman. You have to be able to maintain your composure.
Well, could this be the year for Fran McCaffrey? Now his 4th season in Iowa City. He's gone from 11 wins to 18 to 25 last year. This year up to a rousing 14-3 start. The last time the Hawkeyes started with 3-1 record in conference play was the last time they went to the NCAA tournament back in the 06 season. Now, Fran McCaffrey does know a thing or two about the NCAA tournament. He's been there with 3 different schools: Lehigh, UNC Greensboro, and Siena. Points for White. And now McCabe will shoot 2 free throws.
And McCabe hasn't shot the ball very well, only 1 of 5 from the floor. But you take a look at the rest of his line: 4 rebounds, 3 assists, no turnovers, a steal, and digging out a loose ball in the most recent possession for Iowa.
McCabe has always been a glue guy for the Hawkeyes. What's new? 33 free throws attempted for the Hawkeyes. They lead the Big Ten in attempted free throws. Walker saves it, but right to Marble. Timeout, Iowa. Now the Hawkeyes, this is what they have in front of them. Next game is going to be Wednesday, right here on the Big Ten Network in Ann Arbor against Michigan. Then it's Northwestern on the road, followed by a home game against Michigan State, and then back on the road against Illinois.
A couple of tough ones coming up, especially when you consider the way that Northwestern has defended this week. I mean, they lock down Illinois, and then they go on the road and take out the conference's leading scorer, Kevin Yogi Farrell, 2 of 14 from the floor in that winning effort in Bloomington. And Northwestern will certainly be looking forward to that game, because Iowa really drilled them the first time these 2 teams met.
Michigan State and Michigan both unbeaten. They will meet next weekend for the first time on the year. And then next year, you got Iowa. They're the only remaining 1-loss team. Looks like Iowa's going to get to 4-1 in their first 5 Big Ten games.
There's a great example of how Aaron White knows how to use his body to get contact. He doesn't become a spectator. He comes over, gets down low, and gives the inbounder a place to throw it.
Sean, I want to talk about Aaron White and Fran McCaffrey, and maybe something as we go further in conference play. We talked earlier about how Aaron White does a great job of drawing fouls. Generally, he does a great job of avoiding giving fouls. In his first 4 Big Ten games, only had 3 personal fouls in 4 games. Now, he picked up 2 early ones, and Fran McCaffrey didn't trust him. Sat him on the bench for all but 6 minutes in the first half, and Minnesota was in the game with White on the bench. Maybe in the games to come, Fran McCaffrey will say, you know what? 2 early fouls on Aaron White is not that big of a deal. I'll leave him on the floor.
And we talked about Marble and the job that he did getting himself going. You know, Aaron White really only had one field goal attempt, if I'm not mistaken, in the first half, and it was blocked by DeAndre Matthew. He didn't hang his head. He's going to finish with close to 20 points. He's 10 of 11 from the line. That's why I just don't understand when you come into an open gym and you see guys, you know, trying to bounce it off the shot clock for a minute, get to the foul line. They call it free for a reason, Eric.
Yeah, Iowa, very good at getting to the free throw line and making the shots once they get there. With the way that White and Marble have stepped up in the second half, we almost overlook what an important first half that Josh Oglesby had for the Hawkeyes.
As did Olashaney, holding down that front line.
A lot of O's from the guys whose last name begin with O. Olashaney and Oglesby. 3 seconds on the shot clock, and McCabe, his first three-pointer in 4 weeks. Everything working for the Hawkeyes in the second half. They are a minute away from their 4th conference win in 5 tries.
And Eric, I go back to the end of the first half when Iowa, all the momentum was with Minnesota. Let's remember, it was 43-33 with about a minute to go in that first half. Iowa closes on an 8-0 run, so all the momentum that appeared it would go into the locker room with the Minnesota Golden Gophers swung completely to Iowa's favor, capped by the three-point shot by Oglesby. Then they never looked back coming out of the locker room, getting Marble going, and then Aaron White followed along.
Who would have thought at halftime that this would turn out to be a 20-point game when it was all said and done? Aaron White's done. Just a monster second half for White. Finishes with 18 points, 4 rebounds. Was 10 of 11 at the free throw line. Marble, he's done as well. Under a minute to play.
And now if you're Minnesota, I'm going to be absolutely flabbergasted if they give a foul here. Iowa could just, you know, work the shot clock down.
These two will meet again February 25th up at Williams Arena. That game will be on BTN as well. That may do it. Wasabi, the offensive rebound, and Hawkeyes are just going to dribble it out. Well, Fran McCaffrey Hall to call a timeout. Wasabi was about to be tied up. So we will give the win to the Hawkeyes. At 4-1, they're off to their best start in conference play since the 98-99 season.
Are you going Dan Rather on me and calling the race before all the results are in?
I'm going to do it.
All right.
I've never seen a 21-point play.
Hey.
Even though I did see someone get 6 fouls in today's game.
Yeah, well, if you stick around long enough, Eric.
Now it's a happy Sunday here for the locals. Entertaining game. And at the end, the stars really shine brightly. Aaron White, Devin Marble, both with terrific second half performances.
And 94 points. Certainly the offensive execution of Iowa was very impressive. But I want to talk about what the Hawkeyes did on the defensive end of the floor, especially in the second half, completely eliminating Andre Hollins, who torched them in the first half for 18 points. He was a non-factor here in the second half.
What do you think about the loss from the perspective from Minnesota?
A lot of things that they can learn from here, especially avoiding foul trouble. There are some positives. DeAndre Matthew responded to some adversity. It was good to see Austin Hollins get going. A big game coming up for the Golden Gophers at home versus Wisconsin.
So that's going to do it from Carver Hawkeye Arena. An impressive performance for the Hawkeyes to get to 4-1 in conference play. Final score, one final time, 94-73. Sure hope you enjoyed it. For my partner, Sean Morris, I'm Eric Collins saying so long. Coming up next, we've got